Herzlich willkommen, Sianamgela, and welcome to the Bundesliga Connection with Kres Harrington on the SL Podcast in partnership with DW Berlin.
It's time for the latest from Germany's domestic football league, the Bundesliga, and more. For that, we are joined by Kres Harrington from our partner station Deutsche Welle in Berlin, Germany. Kres, the Champions League results did not change for the German sides. All but one side, RB Leipzig, picked up points. However, the Bulls rebounded with a win over Bochum.
Yeah, RB Leipzig, the Bulls, their one highlight all season long has been Christopher Nkunku. He's been incredible. He's been the only highlight of offense in the Champions League. He scored in both cases, a hat trick the first time, scored the second affair, but in a losing effort. And then he scored a brace to help them defeat Bochum. That's not a difficult opponent. Bochum second to bottom in the table. They've only picked up one win all season long, but Jesse Marsch has had a difficult road, leading Leipzig. Leipzig were supposed to be a contender. They bring in Silva. That's supposed to add a spark offensively, but they're right in the middle of the table, and I'll go back to the one highlight. Christopher Nkunku, he's real special. I think he's playing himself kind of a way to leave. He's been linked to Real Madrid. Reportedly, his agent has even, tried to figure out an offer to see, if a deal can get done sooner rather than later. Now, he is under contract until next summer, but this season he's been remarkable on all fronts. And I think typically when you see players step up like that, potentially they could leave. Now, his agent, is known to getting deals done. A lot of moves are going to be made soon enough, but his deal is only around $40 million. That's not the biggest amount of money for a midfielder with his capabilities. I mean, he's only 23 years old. I think he looks good moving forward. We have to wait and see. But as Leipzig goes, Leipzig just aren't the Leipzig they were under Julian Nagelsmann. I think everyone knows that. They're eighth in the standings right now. That's very un-Leipzig-like when you consider the expectations attached to the club. But, it's a long season ahead of us. We have to wait and see. But as long as Nkunku keeps on performing the way he is, I think the team will steadily improve.
Dortmund's Erling Haaland, who's been linked to PSG recently, ruled himself out versus Augsburg. However, Dortmund still managed to pick up the victory.
Yeah, it was Julian Brandt. Julian Brandt was part of this older class that came over to Dortmund with Torgan Hazard, and I think it was a defender. His name escapes me, at the moment. But nonetheless, it's good to see Julian Brandt step up, and make a difference because the team pretty much seems to revolve around the success of Erling Haaland. He's been missing, but the team has been doing very well. You look at where they are in the standings. They're third. They're 15 points right behind Bayern and Leverkusen, who are tied on points right now. So Erling Haaland, him missing, ruling himself out. The word is that he was training. Marco Rosa, the head coach, noticed obviously he couldn't give it his all. So he told him to sit down and recover, as he should. Those links to PSG, could materialize because Kylian Mbappe, for all intents and purposes, will depart, leaving another vacancy at that club. They signed big names. Messi, Haaland would seemingly fit, with that main attraction that's called PSG these days. But speaking of Dortmund domestically, picking up the victory is important considering the absence of Dortmund. It's good to see. And he's not the only player missing. Gio Reyna, the young American is missing as well. So I think when Dortmund are in full strength, for all intents and purposes, this upcoming match day, after the international break, they can, see themselves get a boost in the standings if Leverkusen and Bayern, who face off against one another, stagnate, end in a draw. So Dortmund are in a really good position, despite missing their key player and striker up front.
Kres, Bayern, who lead their Champions League group, hosted Frankfurt on Sunday.
Yeah, right. Save the biggest game, the biggest headline, a first on both sides, the first defeat for Bayern Munich and the first victory for Frankfurt. Now, if you want to defeat anyone to get your engine going in the right direction, you got to go at the top. You got to, dethrone the king. And they did that, especially, in Bayern's backyard. You have to give a lot of credit to Kevin Trapp. He was stellar between the posts, preventing a few goals, that could have changed the outcome. Lewandowski, firing blanks. It's often, that's a rarity, with Lewandowski up front. He missed a header earlier in the match. You could see the expression on his face. Everyone watching, I'm sure, felt the same way because he tends to find the back of the net in those situations. But nonetheless, Kevin Trapp stood up defensively. Leon Goretzka, it looked like that he was going to do it. But for Frankfurt, Filip Kostic was a difference maker. First, he sets up a goal, and then he comes in later to score the deciding goal. You have to give a lot of credit to Frankfurt. I did mention the last time we talked, Frankfurt defeated them the last time they met in the Bundesliga. Maybe they're on their way to a streak if they can complete the sweep when they meet again later in the season. But, no one's perfect. It's just a dent in Bayern's armor. I think a more decisive match is the match they have coming up with Leverkusen. But defensively, Frankfurt, passed the test with flying colors. And offensively, in the late effort, you have to give a lot of credit to Kostic because, he was the hero of the match, in my opinion. But I'm sure Julian Nagelsmann and company will go back to the drawing board and figure out how to execute in situations, that they failed to do against Frankfurt.
Like always, Kres, what else has hit your radar this week?
Yeah, just staying on the Frankfurt theme, there was international action, European action in the Europa League. Kevin Trapp, the goalkeeper, he had fireworks thrown at him, which exploded by his feet. Had to get medical attention. Luckily, nothing was wrong. He resumed play. But it just goes to show, as things change, more fans attend these games, the atmosphere changes. In the case of Kevin Trapp, he's lucky that he was healthy because without that health, who knows, Frankfurt could have gone on to lose that match, against Bayern Munich. But it's good to see and sad to see at the same time. Hopefully the fans can keep it together, because it is great to see exciting football, but you have to keep your emotions in check.
Thank you very much for the Bundesliga update, Mr. Kres Harrington from our partner station Deutsche Welle in Berlin, Germany. Have a fantastic day further.
Danke und auf Wiedersehen.
The Bundesliga Connection is a team effort driven by the following incredible individuals. The show is hosted by Aidan Hewitt and Kres Harrington. It is produced by Kres Harrington. It is edited by Aidan Hewitt and Uli Presch, and graphics are provided by David Scullard.